Joey Knight with Friday Night Rewind here at Dad Stadium at Plant High, where the Panthers are set to inaugurate their new synthetic turf playing surface against old rival Hillsborough. They say this is the sleekest, fastest playing surface in the Bay Area now. The skeptic in me says I'm not so sure. Tony Posada, what do you think?
It really doesn't feel any faster to me.
Well, Tony Posada says he's not so sure. I'm not so sure. Tony, you're still not sure?
It doesn't feel fast to me at all.
Get ready now for the fastest 10 minutes in football. Friday Night Rewind starts now.
Infinite skills. You know we got the hits, plus all the highlights. Check TampaBay.com. You know we'll keep it tight. Knight and Cody put in work for sure, bringing more than scores, so search no more. If you want to know it now, then you need no other reason to check Friday Night Rewind back for a fourth season.
Hey there, it's John Cody. It's John Cody with Friday Night Rewind, and I'm being interrupted right now by the great Lakewood coach Corey Moore, whose team lost tonight 35-14. Fumbles, interceptions. Talk about it.
Well, we had a bunch of fumbles. We were in the red zone quite a bit, but we just couldn't finish. St. Pete did a great job on capitalizing on our many mistakes. But I know the score is kind of lopsided, but it's really not indicative of how really the game played. But we have too many mistakes, and we can't beat anybody with those types of mistakes. So we got to bounce back and be ready to go and be able to talk trash to you next week.
Both teams very defensive-minded early on. Back and forth, but then Lakewood 3 times in this game drove in to St. Petersburg territory. 3 times they fumbled, and every single one of those fumbles, St. Pete turned into a touchdown. It's not like you were fumbling and getting the ball back. They turned every one of those into a touchdown.
Right. It's almost like we were fumbled. They had a momentum, and then there's a big play would happen from there. You know, and again, we would have a long drive to get in a position to score, and then not capitalize. But they would capitalize, and you know, it sucks.
We're going to have to edit that out. Here, slide over a little bit more. The big difference in this game, obviously turnovers, but to start the second half, Rashad Lewis busts off an 80-yard run on the first play. That made it 21-0. But Lakewood came back, score a touchdown, get 21-7. Then they recover their St. Pete fumble, right, drive all the way down to the 5-yard line, about to make it a 21-14 game. That changes the entire complexion of the game if you punch that in, right, but they don't. The ball's put on the ground. St. Pete recovers it in the end zone. They get it on the 20. Then the very next play, they bust off like a 60-yard run.
Absolutely.
That was pretty much the game right there. Next week, me and Coach Moore, we're going to switch places. I'm taking the helm. I'm going to guide Lakewood to a victory over Boca Ciega. You're going to host this show. We'll probably send you maybe Polk County or something like that. Lakeland Christian, is that cool?
As long as I get your check that week.
This is John Cody for Friday Night Rewind.
I'm Bob Putnam with Friday Night Rewind here at Pinellas Park, where Palm Harbor scores the final score to pull out a 34-28 victory to start 2-0 for the first time in school history. Wild game in which teams combined for 8 scores and 654 yards of offense. Palm Harbor starts off Billy Pavlok, 72-yard run for a touchdown. Then he connects with Hunter Beam for a 48-yard touchdown pass to put Palm Harbor up 14-0. Pinellas Park answers, gets 2 scores. Mike Smith on a 3-yard run, and then Jeremy Powell catches an 87-yard pass from Jesse Havia. Palm Harbor answers in the second quarter. Hunter Beam on a 90-yard kickoff return. Pinellas Park comes right back in the second quarter. Havia on an 11-yard run right before half. In the second half, Pinellas Park takes the lead 28-27 when Jeremy Powell scores on a 37-yard pass from Havia. But Palm Harbor gets the final score when Kenny Blanche scores on a 32-yard run to make it 34-28 Palm Harbor. I'm Bob Putnam with Friday Night Rewind.
Joey Knight with Friday Night Rewind out here in Lithia, and this is downright uncanny. The Jefferson-Newsome game, which was not completed in 2009 due to inclement weather, may not be completed in 2010 for the exact same reason. We're here in the middle of the third quarter. Oh my God, look at that lightning, God. Officially, the game was called with 6:49 remaining in the third quarter. Jefferson had a 31-16 lead. Let's see the highlights to that point. Jefferson quarterback Quentin Williams accounted for 4 touchdowns, 3 in the air, 1 each to Tyreek McCord, Andre Davis, and Chris Moore. He also scored on a 3-yard keeper. The Dragons led 24-10 at halftime. Newsome, with its wing T ball control offense, did a good job for the most part, keeping Jefferson off the field with 154 first half yards. The highlight in the first half, a fake field goal turned into an 11-yard touchdown pass from Will Burnham to Keller Powers. Keller's brother Connor later scored from 26 yards out in the third quarter to make it 24-16. Jefferson answered right back and scored to make it the final score, 31-16.
We're going to meet here at 3 o'clock.
Cody, that Jefferson-Newsome game resumes today at 4 o'clock. Weather permitting, don't worry, there's no college football on today. You should be able to get out there and enjoy it.
Okay, I think I will. Thanks for the advice, Joey.
I'm going to mention 3 teams first. King, 2-0 for the first time since 1990. Leonard, 2-0 for the first time ever. And Dixie Holland snaps a 12-game skid with that big win against Seminole.
Speaking of Dixie, quarterback Dana Harrington, he led them tonight. He had 3 total touchdowns. Excellent game for him. Jesse Havia and Jeremy Powell hooked up often in Pinellas Park's loss. They put up big numbers though. And Ricky Trinidad, who's becoming a regular on this show, dating back to last year, another big night. 2 of those touchdown runs, by the way, over 80 yards.
Wow. Donardo Fields from Strawberry Crest. Strawberry Fields, whatever. I heard a song like that.
Don't ever sing it.
Big night tonight against Anclote. Benny Coney from Plant City, 5 total touchdowns. I project him to be the best quarterback in Hillsborough County next year. And James Wilder Jr., a kid from Plant who's mentioned far too seldom on this show, he took up Philip Ely slack. Ely still got that hurt leg. Didn't play tonight against Hillsborough.
I'm going to go venture north to Pasco County. David Emanuel, 4 touchdowns tonight to open up Pasco season. They had a bye week last week. Devin Piper did the same thing at Wesley Chapel, and he gets Coach Ben Alford his first victory. They beat up on Hudson 48-14. And Ike Bailey going even further north. This guy deserves more attention than he's getting. He had another huge night. He's fast. Colleges better start taking notice.
Tatum McLeod from Tampa Bay Tech, the heir apparent to Maurice Higgins. He's starting to fill that role nicely. I'm going to finish with 2 quarterbacks. Michael McDermott from Cambridge had a huge night against Seffner Christian. 147 of his passing yards went to Brandon Park, and Louis Pappas from Tarpon Springs came up big tonight as the Spongers got back on track with that win against Dunedin.
Speaking of quarterbacks, Pinellas County, quite a few good quarterbacks this year. Younger, a little unknown. Ryan Hagan, you can see what he did tonight with Clearwater, this second straight great game. Billy Pavlik at Palm Harbor University, he was a shout-out guy last week. He had 3 total touchdowns. Palm Harbor University, their first 2-0 start ever. And Pete DeNovo, a sophomore at Eastlake, showdown at Largo against Largo tonight with another sophomore quarterback, Juwan Brown. DeNovo gets the upper hand in that one.
This is Friday Night Rewind.